Ah, those pesky teenage boys, always riding their skateboards and listening to rap music and talking to the dead. What are we teaching our children these days? Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to my special series of Halloween-themed reviews. I've already reviewed Coraline on this channel. If you'd like to check that out, I'll put the link in the description below. But for now, let's dive into Laika's second offering, ParaNorman. This movie was directed by Sam Fell, and it tells the story of Norman, who can speak to the dead. But unlike Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense, he actually embraces his power, and he even has some ghosts as his friends. But Norman must use those abilities to their full potential, as he must stop his town from being destroyed by a witch's curse. This is another movie that doesn't scream the Halloween season, but since I was watching Coraline, I figured for the sense of symmetry, and since this is another Laika movie, I figured I'd give it a watch, because I had seen the Box Trolls and I had seen Kubo and the Two Strings, so now I have seen all of Laika's offerings. While I personally prefer Coraline over this movie is still very good. First of all of the voice acting is great. The little boy they got to voice Norman, he was very good. I'm not sure of his name. I'll put his name in the lower third, because I'll have to look it up later, but he was very good, and I hope he went on to future works. You also have people like Anna Kendrick voicing Norman's bratty sister. You got Jeff Garland from, I believe it's Curb Your Enthusiasm, as his disapproving father. You've got McLovin as the bully, which is just awesome. And you've got John Goodman, who I believe is playing Walter from The Big Lebowski, just a lot hairier. The animation in this movie looks stunning, as it always does. In doing research for this movie, I found out that they had actually used a 3D printer to create the effects for the movie, and this was one of the first movies to utilize a 3D printer. And overall, it was very good. The characters had a lot more facial motion to them. Not saying that other animated movies didn't have facial motions, but you know, in this movie, their eyebrows moved and you could see more emotion on their faces. I like that. I like the spirit of that. In terms of flaws, I think the biggest problem that this movie has is that it takes a little while to get going. It doesn't have like a ton of pacing issues because the movie actually moves very fast. I believe it's around 90 minutes and it moves pretty quickly, but the story really takes a while to get going. I wasn't invested, but I wasn't in there hook, line, and sinker like Coraline. But other than the pacing issues, I thought this movie was very well made. It was well animated, the voice acting was all very good. I like this movie a lot. I'm gonna give it a great rating just because it did take a long while to get going, but once it did, it was very good. And like I said, I prefer Coraline over this one, but that's not me knocking the movie. ParaNorman is still very good. But I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that if you're going to show this movie to your kids, like Coraline, know your kids before you show them. Because unlike Coraline, where there are definitely some scary images, the scary images are turned up to 11 in ParaNorman. There's a zombie who tries to get Norman and his teeth stick through the door and it immediately cuts to Norman looking terrified. This is definitely a kids or family movie, but I'm just saying kids might be spooked by this. Certain kids, that is. So, like I said, know your kids before you put this movie on. But that's all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Next week I will be continuing my series of Halloween reviews, starting off with Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Again, not a technically Halloween-drenched movie, but this is another one that I watch every year, and so I figured, hey, why the hell not? And I'll also be talking about the Tim Burton film, Frankenweenie. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and if you saw this movie and you agree or disagree with me, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.